24-hour restaurants are basically extinct. Between staffing shortages and rising costs, these restaurants have been disappearing fast.
But for me, they do serve a purpose. You see, I've developed a pretty horrible fear recently, and going to all these restaurants at the cursed hour is my only chance of facing it. Which is why I have tracked down every single 24-hour restaurant in my city, and will be testing all of them at 3 a.m.
And all that being said, let's jump to the first spot now. Okay, you guys get it? Jump to the next place because IHOP. Anyway, it's not as much of a ghost town as I thought it would be, to be honest with you. Like, I expected nobody here, but there's actually two people here, which is pretty cool for it being damn near, well, it is 3 in the morning right now on the dot. But before I do go inside, let me tell you how I'm gonna rate all these restaurants. Okay, so taste, speed of service, and also vibes. Now, vibes is a two-parter. The first part is just the overall aura of the restaurant, you know, how lively is it, is there music bumping, all that stuff. And the second part has to do with my fear, so I'll explain that later. Let's not waste any more time. I'm hungry, let's go inside, shall we? So the moment I walked into the restaurant, two things happened. One, I was seated right away, and right when I was sat, I was literally already served coffee. And in the middle of pouring said coffee, I was also already served chocolate milk. Like, these interactions were happening so fast that I was just flat out unable to film. Food-wise, I settled on these spicy shredded beef tacos with a side that you will see later. And again, that took maybe like 10 minutes. But now it's time for me to check in and tell you guys about my fear, actually.
I gotta say, for 3 in the morning, the vibes in here are phenomenal. Like, it feels lively in here because, I mean, there's music going on, which is nice. There's people here, so it makes it feel less lonely as well, and just less overall scary. All my food came out really fast too. I'm gonna sit back, eat this, and watch a short vampire film.
Okay, time to come clean. The reason I'm doing all this is because I have been watching way too many vampire movies lately. Think Sinners, Abigail, My Babysitter's a Vampire. Point is, I've become genuinely paranoid that these things exist, and going to all these places at 3 a.m. whilst watching a vampire movie, I would say is directly facing my fear. I came prepared though, because before this, I bought wooden stakes, a crucifix, and an EMI scanner. These are all things that can kill or detect vampires, so these vamps ain't getting me. Thankfully, we're in the safety of the inside at this restaurant, but that is certainly not the case with some of these coming up. Like in the very last one, I'm literally out in the open. And so half of that vibes rating is solely based on vampire presence in each restaurant. At the end of the video, I'll be doing the one thing I've been scared to do for the past month, but more on that later. Anywho, switching gears back to IHOP, I was served my tacos, and the only thing left to do was yeah, dude, these tacos hit. Like, the eggs are just so fluffy. The steak was perfectly cooked. As I always say, if it ain't medium rare, don't even dare. And I even tried one with sauce and one with no sauce, and they were just both fantastic. The side I got were these hash browns, and here's me telling the waitress how it was.
Oh, fantastic.
I also made sure she wasn't a vampire. Green means good, and yellow and red mean bad. No vampires here, meaning that IHOP gets a 4 out of 5, solely because of an interaction that happens later in the video. Anywho, I chugged on my chocolate milk, which tasted just like ice cream. I also wrapped up watching Cornbread as a Vampire. After that, I was pretty much wrapped up, headed out, and it is safe to say that I left a
very happy customer. I am stuffed. The food was fantastic. All the food came out within literally minutes of me sitting down. Couldn't find any vampires in there. I have a feeling the next place we will see some stuff because it is a very lively spot. At 3 in the morning, like, there are just tons of people there. Here's my review.
IHOP, 14 out of 15. Okay, first one down, and I gotta say, we are off to a pleasant start. As good as IHOP was though, some of these restaurants coming up taste so good that you would not think the food was made at 3 in the morning. However, the sightings that I also see later, particularly in the next one, brought me back to reality. Like I said, we were inside for this restaurant, but I am scared with one drive-thru coming up, and also, most nerve-wrackingly, the last one. I'm driving back with the light on, but my goal by the end of this video is to have the lights off, especially to prepare for what I'm doing at the end of the video. But that all being said, time to drive to the next restaurant.
Okay, so perhaps I was mistaken. It's not as lively as I expected it to be. Like all the videos I've seen of Whataburger at 3 a.m. Well, really just the one video actually. It was super lively. So I kind of expected it to be the same here. Or maybe everyone's woken up to the fact that there's vampires rampant. Who knows? I'm actually pretty excited about this one because they have some pretty good stuff available at 3 in the morning. So let's eat.
Now there was a lot of good looking meat on that menu, but at this point, I pretty much already knew what I wanted.
Hi. Good man, how about you? I want to do one of the Hatsgreen chili double burgers.
Just a sandwich?
Oh yeah. Can I get a shake right now? Is that available?
A shake? Yeah.
I'm gonna do one large vanilla shake.
I sat down pretty much immediately, and along with that came my shake right when I sat down. I surprisingly held off on that until the burger came, but whilst I'm waiting, let me tell you, it is bright as hell in here. And on top of that, look at this wall art. It's really sick. They were playing music in here that honestly was so good that I was even bobbing my head.
So this song reminds me of my freaking exes. Or gym PRs.
And whilst I was bobbing my head, my burger came.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna get a shake originally, but I saw that in the menu and then I folded faster than the freaking Knicks, man. You know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you get a vanilla shake, a large vanilla shake.
Anywho, I dug into my burger, and I think I'm just gonna let the music speak for how good this is.
It is a tad salty, but I've had my fair share of salty surprises back in my day anyway, so.
Now, as I was eating my burger, something completely unexpected happened. I noticed that this guy had just been standing there the entire time I've been in the restaurant, and he just would not leave. So obviously my suspicion rose. I took out the EMF scanner, and it's literally yellow. So I'm literally in danger right now. So I did what pretty much any rational person would do when they see a vampire, and that was wave around the crucifix for a couple of seconds. And surprisingly, he went away. And now I am suspicious that I just saw a vampire. Doesn't really help that this is green now. And that gives Whataburger's vibes rating a 2.5. I'm sorry. Anywho, I wrapped up the burger. Here's how I feel about it.
Like, it doesn't feel like it was 3 in the morning food. It felt like it was just midday food. And I would know that because I have Whataburger pretty often. It is better than In-N-Out. I'm just saying.
I also wrapped up my shake, and this thing is really, really good, but also very thick.
That's a thick boy right there.
So thick that it was just really hard to get down. And I'm used to getting thick things down. Hey, yep! I also wrapped up my vampire movie, and in this case it was Ripper Stefan from The Vampire Diaries. This guy was just such a badass, man. So cold. Anywho, here's how I feel overall.
Well, besides the one encounter, or potential encounter, you don't know, I'm pretty pleased. The vibes in here were alright. They're pretty nice, actually. Very bright and somewhat lively, despite there being 2 people. They played some bangers in here, so I can't complain about that. Food's good, too. I think the staff were a little more interactive at IHOP, but it wasn't bad by any means. It was still pretty good.
And all that being said, I got ready to head out. I am scanning in the outside still as I'm walking back to my car, just for safety measures, but these all turned out to be green, so we're good. So now, here is my review. Whataburger, you get an 11.5 out of 15. Better luck next time. Okay, that's number 2 down. The food was pretty decent for 3 in the morning, but not as good as some of these still coming up. I am still a tad shaken up by the encounter we had, but believe me, that's not the end of it. That does make me a tad nervous for when I'm exposed in the open in the last restaurant, but this all just makes for good preparation. Service was fast, but not as friendly as in this next restaurant, and that being said, it's time to drive there.
Now, there may only be 2 cars here, but that is a tad misleading because I see like 6 or 7 people in there right now. I don't know if a party came in here or if a bunch of drunk kids at 3 in the morning are going to Waffle House on a Monday morning. Although I don't know why they'd be drunk on a Monday, because they've either got school or work, but you know what, to each their own. We all cope in different ways. But this is one I'm excited for because Waffle House is known to have really fast service, and I can vouch for that too. Every time I've gone there, I swear to God, they have been in and out within like 5 minutes. Given the fact that it's 3 in the morning, maybe 3 minutes, who knows? But we're not gonna find out till we go inside, so.
Sorry, I chose funk music because it felt like I was walking into a party with all these people here. Anyway, I was sat pretty much right away, and I was served chocolate milk by my waitress within literally 2 seconds of me sitting down. And my God, this is good. It tastes just like ice cream. Looking at the menu, my eyes were glued to one thing and one thing only. Yeah, I'm gonna do one of those cheese. Also, I apologize ahead of time. I thought this camera angle was good, but it turned out to be really, really dog shit. So again, sorry in advance. Do one of those cheesesteak and cheese eggs breakfast. That looks really good.
Yeah. Did you want grilled onions in it or no?
Yeah.
And then cheesy eggs.
Yeah. And I sat here for about 5 minutes, and then
You enjoy filming the video?
I will do.
and I wasted no time in getting started on this. If I could pick a song right now that accurately depicts how I feel about this meal, it'd be this one.
I think this is the closest I've been to heaven. This is so good. The eggs are so perfectly cheesy and fluffy. That steak is just perfect too. These hash browns and the jalapeno.
And this toast, I kid you not, is some of the best toast I've had in my life. It is the perfect combination of crispy and buttery. It might be a tad early to call it, but at this point, Waffle House's taste rating is a 6 out of 5. But with every high comes a problem. As you see, there are multiple people in this Waffle House, and that is just more of a chance that there are vampires around. And what did my dumbass do? I forgot my EMF scanner at home. I rummaged through my backpack for like a minute, and nothing.
Well, that's not good. I have no idea. I'm not gonna be able to tell if anyone here is a vampire or not. For safety purposes.
And oddly enough, right when I did that, everyone started leaving one by one by one. I'll admit, I was suspicious, but then this interaction happened, and that killed all suspicion for me.
What's the rating?
I think it's the best one so.
What are we vlogging?
I think it's the best one so far, to be honest with you. Like it came out the fastest. Like I've been to IHOP and I've been to Whataburger so far, and even though they were fast, like this is.
We discussed the food, which I'll talk about later, but after that, we just had a conversation about life. You know, our goals, the channel. We even got on a first name basis. I told her my name was Mijan. Mijan. My name is Mijan. So as you guys know, my name is Mijan, and I thought I had a pretty unique name until I discovered that there are 2 people on YouTube, both named Mijan, who are more famous than me. And this cannot be. Mijan is supposed to be my name. These people stole my name. The goal is simple. Subscribe so I'm the most famous Mijan on YouTube. Anyways, time for a mood switch. Yeah, her and I just sat here yapping for about, I want to say 30 minutes, and I'll be honest, it was really nice. It was nice knowing that a random stranger took interest in my channel and in my life.
How long have you been YouTubing for?
Well, this channel a year, and this has been the one channel that's actually done somewhat well. I've been doing it for 10 years, but I've failed every other channel up to this point.
And it was fun to repeat the same with her. And it made me realize just how far conversation can go. It goes a long way. It really does. And as a result, I didn't even think about vampires. I left very, very happy. Here's what I had to say. I can't even lie. The interaction really made my day. I haven't really had conversation with anyone in this video yet, and just the fact that she cared so much and, you know, actually asked me things about the channel and my life, and coming out of here very happy. Very, very happy. Waffle House, you get a 16 out of 15. Gonna be hard to beat. That's number 3 down, and can I just say, wow, some of the best tasting food and best people. I'm very happy. But we can't stay stuck for too long. My fear of vampires is almost next to none at this point, and I even drove back home with the lights off. Can't be riding too many highs though, because this next restaurant managed to completely undo all of that. And speaking of which, let's drive there.
Now, as you may recall, this place was actually blurred out in the beginning of this video when I was eating at IHOP because they're apparently right next to each other, which I think is freaking hilarious. No, I did blur it out for the sake of YouTube farming, so Anyway, this is actually the first local place on this list, but it's also not the last, and you'll see what I mean later. Because I've seen the reviews in this place, and people talk about really fast service and also just amazing food. But mainly fast service, so I'll really be looking for that as I'm waiting for my food here. But, that being said, let's not waste any more time.
Yeah, if you can't tell, it's drive-thru only.
Well, no wonder service is fast. It's fucking drive-thru only right now. Shall we?
Morning, Matthew.
I will do the 2 beef tacos combination platter.
Then number 3.
Yep.
Anything else?
That should be all.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, they're on the clock now. Awesome, thank you. Hey, take it easy.
Thankfully, because there was nobody there until later, parking was pretty easy to come by. So I got parked and set up shop with all my food.
Someone say it for me. Someone say it for me. Taco Tuesday. No, I'm kidding. As you guys just saw like 30 seconds ago, I ordered these 2 beef. Holy sh**, that is a lot. They stuffed the f*** out of these things. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. Not bad.
I'm going to be honest, not bad is actually an understatement. This was flat out mid. It, for some reason, is just very, very bland. However, I remembered that I had sauce, and this just flat out transformed it. It turned it from mid to not mid.
Like the overarching flavor profile isn't changed. I feel like the taste of the meat is enhanced.
Like, it even got me to like beans, and I hate beans.
These beans are really good.
And of course, after riding this food high, something bad just had to happen. This one happened off camera though.
Some guy just came up and started knocking on my car. That guy right there came up and started knocking in my car, and without thinking, I just fucking slammed the fucking gas pedal. But that also reminds me that I need to I don't know where my phone went, so I'm gonna... Nope, okay, we're good.
I also pulled out the wooden stake as an intimidation tactic. Here's how that went. I'll be honest, at this point, I did feel pretty deflated because it felt like my entire last interaction at Waffle House just completely went to waste. So at this point, I just sat there, wrapped up my vampire movie, which was Daybreakers with Ethan Hawke, and then just left. That whole interaction just killed the vibe. Here's my review. Filiberto's Mexican food, you get an 8 out of 15. I'm really sorry. Well, that was a bummer. The taste would have been a 5, but I've always removed points for requiring sauce to taste good. However, the bigger issue is I have gone completely backward in overcoming my fear, which isn't good and is terrible for the very end of this video. Which, let me finally explain exactly what I am doing. You see, ever since I've become paranoid of the existence of vampires, I have not gone out on a walk alone at night in months. So in order to truthfully face my fear, I will be going out on a walk alone at night after eating at the final restaurant. I was making good progress up until this point, and just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, everything falls apart from here on out. And it even leads me to the biggest surprise of this video. It's time to drive to my pending doom. Okay, we have made it to the last stop. Cow Pig Food Truck, everyone. I've heard the food at this place is banging, so I'm excited for that. What I'm not excited for, though, it's currently raining outside, and also there was no parking lot, so I had to find public parking like a block or 2 down, so I could run into vampires on the way there too. Anyway, it's time to attempt to find this place.
Yeah, they were, not only were they closed, they're also in an entirely different location. So we gotta find a new outdoor restaurant.
Yeah, not ideal, but I went to place after place and both were closed. But I did finally strike gold. Kinda.
Okay, so I did not think that my saving grace would be Denny's. This was the only spot in Tucson that was freaking open at 3 in the morning. So I ordered online pickup, currently sitting in my car right now, but then go back and forth between going outside, whether it's to scan for vampires, wooden stakes, whatever. So I can fulfill that promise of being exposed to the outside. But that being said, your boy got himself a French toast grand slam along with cheese eggs, turkey bacon, and then also a chocolate shake. I don't really got time to waste, so let's eat. Wait, I swear I saw butter somewhere. Admittedly a little bland. Well, not bland. It's like both somehow super bland, but then also super flavorful at the same time. Turn on these eggs here.
For some reason, I was like in love with the rest of this meal. Like, these cheese eggs are so heavenly. They are the right fluffiness and also the perfect egg to cheese ratio. And this turkey bacon, I don't know what it is, but it actually got me to like turkey bacon.
You know, I typically hate turkey bacon. There's some really good turkey bacon.
Now, this shake was gone in about 30 seconds, but it tasted just like a colder version of a hot cocoa. So really good. But because I finished it so fast, I decided to save the rest of this for lunch so I could focus on the bigger problem at hand here.
You guys see that, right?
I really didn't know what to say. I had no idea what could have been setting it off. But I got so desperate that I literally checked everywhere and turned it on and off to make sure it wasn't a glitch. And then came the final straw, checking the outside.
I'm only shook because I haven't seen anyone walking on the street, and somehow that's going off.
Right as I had said that, I saw this, and more concerningly, this. An unattended stroller. And at this point, I just knew I was dealing with something much deeper than vampires, and I couldn't take it. I had to leave. And it felt like in this moment, everything was just falling apart. I went home with not one, but 2 lights off. I literally spent the whole evening thinking about it, and I didn't even want to go on a walk. And in all honesty, I was thinking about giving up on it. But then, I remembered my name is Mijan Ahmad Nizam, and I don't give up on anything. So I got up, forgot the fact that I had any fears, got my ass out that door, and went on that walk. You know, throughout this walk, I noticed that absolutely no one was bothering me, and it made me realize something. Maybe all those people all along were really not vampires. They weren't vampires, but people looking for hope and maybe food. And with that in mind, I was able to confidently go home, got to the door, and